You want a bite? Okay, how? You jumped so far. Ow!
Hey, what's happening, herpers? So I've got another kind of shorter video this week. I wanted to introduce to you an animal that if you've been subscribed to the channel for a while, you've already seen. Sometimes I jokingly refer to this as my most vicious pet, and there's just kind of a good reason for that. This one is not my most dangerous pet out there. It's actually a species that a lot of people recommend as being a good first pet lizard for people to get, and that is usually a pretty reasonable recommendation. This pet lizard can make a good first pet reptile, but this individual lizard would not be that one, and I figured I would take advantage of this kind of one particular example of a lizard of this species that is not the best pet, or at least not a great pet for a first-time reptile keeper. I love this lizard and think it's a great pet, but at the same time, if I had gotten this lizard as a gift for a 12-year-old, I would probably have a pretty sad 12-year-old on my hands because this particular lizard is vicious. If you don't already know which one of my pets I'm talking about, oh no. It's awake. Alright, so yes, I'm talking about my leopard gecko, which if you know anything about the other reptiles I keep, like the rattlesnake that lives just above him, or the even bigger rattlesnake that lives on the other side of the room, you might be thinking, what do you mean one of your most vicious reptiles is a leopard gecko? That's probably one of the best beginner pets. And that's one of the places where I kind of break with a lot of other reptile pages or just a lot of other reptile care guides. Yeah, leopard geckos can be fantastic, easy beginner reptiles. Their care is fairly minor. They can live their entire lives in a fairly small enclosure. A lot of people don't ever even upgrade them to a 40-gallon aquarium like what I have mine living in. A lot of people do keep them in 20-gallon aquariums for their whole life, which, while it's not necessarily ideal, it's not the worst thing that you can do to a leopard gecko. By far, probably the worst thing you can do to a leopard gecko is deprive them of this right here. And this is just a calcium dish. One of the most common issues I used to see with leopard geckos was metabolic bone disease. If their food isn't supplemented with calcium, if they aren't provided a dish of calcium to lick on in their enclosure, well, that is one of the most common issues that I used to see with them while I worked at a sanctuary. People would bring in these leopard geckos that looked like they had silly straws for bones, essentially. Their bones just never had enough calcium in them to harden and form properly, so you end up getting these really bowed legs, curled fingers, and sometimes even bent and curved and just contorted spines that don't look how these animals are supposed to look. But that isn't this leopard gecko's problem, and it isn't why I don't think they make great pets for most people. That's an easy enough fix for anybody really to solve if you just do a little bit of research on your pet before you get it and you know what type of needs your animal's going to have. No, the reason I'm not quite as quick to recommend leopard geckos as being a first pet is because a lot of people just kind of lose interest in them, and a lot of people who are getting into reptiles for the first time are a little bit younger, and nothing against my younger audience, but sometimes you lose interest in things sooner. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's something that I saw a lot of while working at a reptile sanctuary, and something especially with leopard geckos, a species that can live potentially up to 20 years, even in excess of 20 years. A lot of people would get them as kids, lose interest, and they would either get rid of them as soon as they lost interest, or the parents would eventually bring them in when the kids left to go to college and left their gecko behind. So that's kind of the big reason why I don't think they're the best starter pet reptile, because a lot of people, I think, get them thinking, this is my starter reptile, and that's kind of all it ever is to them. They don't form a bond with it. They're thinking of what the reptile they're getting this to practice for instead. And I feel like a lot of leopard geckos kind of fall to the wayside for that reason. But again, that's not this one's problem. This is one that I actually held back from the days when I used to breed leopard geckos. Her name is Jupiter. And while I love Jupiter, I didn't hold her back because I just couldn't bear to part ways with her, or because I loved her that much. I held her back because she is the most aggressive leopard gecko I have ever met. You can see if she'll let me pick her up here, but I just, in good faith, trying to bite me. Could not give this to anybody interested in buying a gecko. Towards the end of my gecko breeding, I started giving them to friends and volunteers that I knew would make good homes, and this was one that I just couldn't send home with anybody expecting a sweet little pocket gecko. So this is Jupiter. I don't show her off as much as the other reptiles on my channel, kind of because she hates me and most interaction, which is another reason why Leopard geckos can be great pets, but if you are looking for a pet reptile to handle regularly and hold and interact with, again, I'm going to kind of push you towards maybe a bearded dragon, or if you want something a little more exotic and you live in the US, or something that not everybody has, maybe a blue-tongued skink, but not a leopard gecko, because while you can find a few out there that are okay with being held and touched, the majority of them really don't like it all that much. But to make some of this interaction a little bit worth Jupiter's while, I'm going to go ahead and give her a couple worms, and we'll see how she does at aiming today. Hey Jupiter, I got you a fresh worm. Try back here. Let's see, you can see how I'm kind of trying to use the door here to protect my fingers, because she's small, but that mouth packs a little bit more of a punch than you might think when she misses, so I'm really hoping she doesn't accidentally get my fingers here. You want a bite? Okay, you how? You jumped so far. Ow! You jumped so far. You let go. You jumped so far past. Oh, did you let go yet? There you go. So that is the aftermath of a leopard gecko bite, if I can get my thumb in focus there. I don't even know where the worm went. You jumped so far past it to get my... Oh, there it is. It's on top of Lucy's... It lives in Lucy's enclosure now. All right, I'll grab another. I'll find that worm later. I don't think it can actually get in my snake's cage, but I think it is going to be stuck in that track until I pull the screen cover off of it. And we're going to try that again. All right, guys, don't tell anybody. A leopard gecko made me bleed. All right, let's try that again. All right, come on. We're going to go for the worm this time, not the human flesh. Sound good? Yeah, there we go. That's got to be... Look, isn't that nice? More enjoyable for you, less painful for me. Alright, I dropped it, got my hand the hell out of there because I don't need to get bitten again. And she lost it. It's back here. Yeah. Oh no, don't bite me. It's just it's under you, right down, right there. No, right there. See? I don't think she sees it. All right, I don't know what was that? Well, I just pulled out the tongs and I was about to apologize and say I don't know what to say to you guys. I hand feed my tegu from time to time. I hand feed my Honduran milk snake, but not the gecko. The attack gecko is where I draw the line. Don't crawl out of here. Here, look, I'll bring it to you. Look, see? You don't got to go anywhere for it. It's right there. You go. I can't believe the gecko made me use the rattlesnake tongs. You're a little bit of a maniac, Jupiter. But I love you. You want to come out? Yeah, come on out. Oh, there she goes. She's biting me again. So there you guys have it. That is Jupiter, my most vicious pet reptile. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. So definitely a shorter one, but I just wanted to introduce you to a reptile that I know hasn't gotten as much time on my channel as some of my other pets have. So I hope you enjoyed getting to see more of her. I hope if you've made it this far that you've liked the video. I actually bled for the video today, so give me a like for literally bleeding for my craft here. And on that note, I'd like to thank everybody who did watch the entire video for making it all the way until the end. Keep your toes out of the door. And I would like to thank all of the amazing patrons that help support this channel, starting with my head herpers, Allie Ward, Amanda Lynn, Deborah Torgerson, JCH, Lindsay Justice, Sierra Sicard, Tiffany H, and Wyatt Gilbert. Thank you guys so much for supporting at the highest tier level every single month. It means a lot to me. And as always, thank you to all the other miraculous names you see scrolling down your screen now. I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you for all the support. It really means a lot, and I couldn't do it without you guys. So with that, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go bandage my wound. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I hope you don't get bitten by your smallest and least scary, intimidating reptile that you own. But most of all, I hope that you just keep, maybe I do hope that, I do hope if you have to get bitten, I hope that it is by your least scary and least intimidating reptile you own. There. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, but most of all, I hope that you just keep herping.